Hey, Namaste y'all. We say Namaste in the beginning of our practice because Namaste is a greeting. Let's just take a moment and get yourselves comfortable and prepared so we can do some work on our mat. This would also be the time for you to grab any props that you like to use. Bolsters, meditation blankets, anything at all. You're just preparing yourself to create the safe, non-judgmental space for you. All right, we are first going to begin by getting grounded and centered. Take a moment to relax. Gently place your hands on either side of your hips with your fingers gently touching your mat and just becoming grounded, feeling the earth, the ground, the mat underneath you. Becoming aware of how you feel externally and internally, being nowhere else but right here on your mat. Let's now transition to placing your hands lightly on your thighs or your knees, and we're going to begin to connect to our breathing. Remember that pranayama, or breath work, is all about understanding the life force of your breathing. Maybe take your left hand and gently place it over your heart, and your right hand and place it over your belly. And as you inhale deeply, allow your belly to fill up with air and your chest to relax. And as you exhale, allow your core to pull into your spine, and maybe releasing the breath either from your nose or your mouth, whichever feels more comfortable. Nice, slow inhales filling up your belly, and exhales, core to spine. Deep inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inhale, 2, 3, hold. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just continue breathing at your own pace. And as you continue the breath, release your hands back to your knees as we prepare for our asana practice. Inhale, straighten your spine, and exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, roll the left ear to the left shoulder, and exhale, roll the head to the back. And inhale, roll the right ear to the right shoulder, and exhale, chin back to chest. Repeat. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, head to the back. And inhale, roll the right ear to the right shoulder. And exhale, chin to chest. Let's prepare to reverse. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, roll the head to the back. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And inhale, roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Exhale, roll the head to the back. And inhale, roll the left ear to the left shoulder. And exhale, chin to chest. And let's take a minute and take a few breaths here, allowing the neck to be straight and the head heavy. Spine straight, and bring the head back forward. Maybe bringing the shoulders up to the ears. Inhale, exhale, shoulders down your back. One more time. Inhale, shoulders to the ears. Exhale, shoulders down your back. Okay, let's do a little hip work here. Now you can choose to do fire logs with me by placing your right foot over your left leg, or you may stagger the legs by placing your right foot in front of your left. Now let's inhale, straight spine, and bend from the waist forward, allowing your head and neck to relax. Maybe drawing your head to your hands, pulling your navel to your spine, and just taking some nice slow breaths. Slowly rising back up, using your core and your arms to come back to center. We will begin to switch out the legs, left over right or left in front of right. Inhale, straighten the spine, and exhale, fold forward, bending at the waist, coming down to your comfort level. If you are here with me, that's great. If you are not, that is great. Exhale, using your core and your arms to come back to center. Let's prepare for a gentle twist. Maybe take that left leg, bring it forward, and taking your right leg and cuffing it behind your buttocks. And we're going to turn to your left, taking the right arm back behind you, looking over the right shoulder. Breathe through the twist. Become centered and compressed. Shoulders down away from the ears. Begin to release. Come back forward. And we're going to just switch the legs out. Now taking the right leg over the left and taking the left arm back, looking over the left shoulder. Straight spine, shoulders away from the ears. Release and begin to come back to forward to an easy, comfortable seat. I invite you to readjust as often as you need to, making sure that your hips are square to the mat. Now, let's take the left leg and extend it and keep that right leg folded in front of you, and we'll slowly bend at the waist and just allow gravity to take you forward and breathe. Shoulders pulled down away from the ears. Navel to spine, and exhale and slowly spider crawl up. One modification here is to keep the right foot in the front and just take that right arm and bring it over to your left and get a nice stretch here. Or you can join me for a little more intensity by taking that right leg and bringing it up and then back behind you. Repositioning the hips to be square to the mat, and again folding over to your left and allowing that nice deep stretch. Don't forget to breathe. Maybe take the gaze up a little towards the ceiling or the sky, and just hold and breathe. Pulling the shoulders away from the ears, pulling the navel to the spine, and release. Use your right arm as support and then turn towards that left leg and begin to fold at the waist, forward fold, and just allow gravity to take you down to whatever feels slightly uncomfortable. Maybe extending those fingers out to grab around the shins or the ankles or the feet, and just breathe. Shoulders away from the ears, navel to the spine. And breathe. Right hand for support, and we will spider crawl back up, and we will reposition those legs and do the same on the other side. This time, left leg is to the front, and we will bend forward at the waist, bringing those arms forward, shoulders away from the ears, navel to spine, hips square to the mat, and breathe. Spider crawl back up. And again, you may continue with a modification if you would like, with the foot in the front. Breathe. Or you can choose to have a little more intensity, bringing that left leg behind you, repositioning the hips square to the mat, and leaning over to your right. Breathe. I'm going to continue to remind you over and over again to breathe. In through your diaphragm into your belly. And exhale, maybe gazing up at the sky or the ceiling, getting bit of a deeper stretch. Begin to release using your left arm as a support, turning towards that right foot, bending forward at the waist and grabbing your shins, your ankles, or your feet, and breathe. Nice, slow inhales and exhales. Spider crawl back up, and now we are going to open those hips a little bit. Let's just start by extending both legs out, repositioning, allowing your hips to come square to the mat, moving around, letting your body take whatever movement it needs to feel comfortable. We'll begin by placing the arms and the hands in front of us, grounding ourselves. Slow down your breathing if you're becoming anxious. Shoulders away from your ears. Slowly begin to take the hands a little bit further out. We're still folding at the waist here. Navel to spine. Now maybe bend the elbows and allow the elbows to come down to the mat or the floor. Still breathing, navel to spine. Next, maybe extending those elbows out to either side, allowing the fingers to touch and maybe even overlap. Allowing gravity to take you wherever your body is allowing. Maybe you will join me by bringing your forehead to your hands and just relaxing and breathing. Allowing your body to take whatever shape, and we will slowly spider crawl up and come forward. Take the hands behind you, grounding yourself, and just lifting your hips off of the floor, stretching your neck, getting a little bit of a release in the lower back and the hips. And now let's come back forward. We will reposition, maybe opening the hips and the legs a little more, and taking those hands back out forward, and we're going to go one more time. Nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, bend those elbows. One more inhale. Exhale, stretch the arms a little further out, and inhale and exhale down, bringing the head and the forehead to the mat and coming back up. Spider crawl. Take your time. Hands behind your hips. And now let's bring the legs in and just do a nice little windmill here. Releasing those hips. They just did a very strenuous stretch. And we're just going to windmill left to right with the flow of your breath. And then turning over and coming to meet me in a nice tabletop position. Now for tabletop, you want to make sure that your knees are aligned under your hips and your hands are aligned under your shoulders. Let's now prepare to give the wrists a gentle stretch. Maybe turn the fingers of one hand towards your body, and we're going to get prepared to do the same on the second side. If that's too much for you, feel free to turn the fingers out towards the either side of the mat. But if you're with me, we're going to bring those fingers towards our body, and we're just going to slightly bend back. Inhale, and then exhale, coming back forward. If your fingertips are facing the external sides of your mat, then you will be rocking from side to side. Either way, it's a gentle rock with your breathing, and now we will bring the fingertips back forward. We're now back in tabletop, and we're going to do a little cat-cow. Inhale and drop the belly and lift the heart and the throat and the head, and we're going to hold and breathe. And exhale, arch the back like an angry cat. And inhale, drop the belly, lift the head, open the heart and the throat. And exhale, bring the head and the chest in, arch the back. And inhale. Drop that belly, open that heart, open the throat, and exhale. Chin to chest, arch the back. One more inhale. Nice, deep cow. And one more exhale. Nice, strong cat. And release. Come back to tabletop. Take any movement you need. Let's now prep for puppy. Maybe adjust your knees to give you a little bit more length. And we're going to extend those arms out forward and just allow the front of your body to come down to your mat. Maybe your chin is to the mat for a little bit more stretch. Maybe your forehead comes to the mat. Either way, you are extending that spine. And now we're just going to extend the legs and come forward, and here you are in Sphinx pose. Bringing that navel to spine because we are still working the core, using the core to come back up and bend the legs again and extend back into puppy. Continue to breathe. Extending those legs and pushing forward using your core, and now we are back in Sphinx. Continue to breathe. Inhales and exhales, and inhale back up into puppy, and exhale, and reposition if you need to. Never be afraid to reposition. Alignment is important. Do what feels good to your body. And exhale back into Sphinx. Leo would like to say hello and get in my way. And maybe now let's just take a brief rest and bring your chin to the mat. Extend the arms, maybe turn the chin to the left and then to the right. Come back forward. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Use your core and your arms to push back up. And now we're back into tabletop. Okay, let's get prepared to work on your core, your lower back, and your arms. Let's lift those heels to your buttocks and extend the arms out slightly. We're going to get ready to come down into a push-up position. Now your arms are close to your ribs, hugging. You're going to push back up, core is in, and release those legs and look up, and you are now in cobra. Remember to keep the core to the spine. Lift those heels again, come back down into a push-up position. Keep the core to the spine. Breathe, inhale, exhale, release those legs, and cobra. Core to spine, arms are just straight, bringing those heels back up, down into a push-up or half a plank, and back up. Release the legs, straighten the arms, and one last release, back into child's pose. In this child's pose, your big toes are touching, your knees are slightly apart. Head is to the mat, arms extended, and come back up and meet me in tabletop. You guys are ready to do a little work here. Let's tuck the toes and just slightly pick those knees up off of the mat, just 1 inch above the mat, and bring your core in, and we're just holding here. Strong core, strong shoulders, and release back down. Maybe rock back and forth. Release a little of that tension you were holding. Come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes, inhale and exhale. Extend the legs and come into downward facing dog. Reposition yourself. Allow those feet to be aligned with your hips, and let's walk the dog. And we'll just lift one heel at a time, right and left. Nice hamstring stretches here. Come to stillness. Inhale, out into a plank. Reposition if you need to. Take an exhale. Inhale, and we're just holding, and exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg into a three-leg dog, and bring that right leg, swing it forward to meet that right arm, and we're just going to hold, and then we're going to take it back up. Keep those hips aligned to the mat and swing it forward again, and this time bring that right foot in between your fingers, and we are in a lunge. Let's pivot that left foot out and then use the right and come up. Keep the right bended and look for alignment here. Now for alignment, we are looking for the right knee to be facing towards those right baby toes, and you just want to make sure that your core is still in close to your body. Take those shoulders away from the ears and breathe. Do not lock that back leg. Maybe a slight micro bend in the knee. In Warrior 2, you have a strong stance, but you are also compressed. Now, you may want to get a little bit of a deeper extension just by coming down a little bit further on that right knee. Flip the right hand and just flip the up part of your body, the top part of your body, and extending back. Maybe taking the gaze up to the arms or the fingers, and then coming back to Warrior 2. Next, we're going to straighten that right leg. We're going to pivot those right toes in to match the left. Take the arms up and to a star pose. From here, we're going to begin to extend those arms out and down and forward fold at the waist, bringing the hands to the mat and just allowing gravity to take you forward. Do not lock your knees here. That will make you lightheaded. A slight micro bend is great. I sometimes like to take my hands and reach behind, give a deeper stretch, and maybe look left and right, but allowing gravity to just keep me here. This is a very nice inversion. Hands back to the mat and a half lift up. Take those hands and we're just going to come back around to our lunge on the right side. Stabilize again, bring that right leg back to meet the left. Reposition, we are now in plank. Exhale down to chaturanga, halfway down. Flip the feet and bring the knees slightly off the mat for upward facing dog. Shoulders away from the ears, core to the spine, and tuck the toes, lift back into downward facing dog. And here we are again. We have another side. Let's get ready. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, bring that left leg into the body. Inhale, bring that left leg up and back, three-leg dog. And exhale, swing and bring the left leg forward into a left side lunge. Get ready to pivot those right toes. Use the power in the left leg and the core to bring you up into Warrior 2 on the left side. Don't forget your alignment. Maybe extend for a deeper lunge and flip and flip. Bring that core in and breathe. And come back to Warrior 2. Extend the left leg. Pivot the left toes to meet the right. Take the arms up, maybe even gaze up. For a nice star pose, you can extend those legs out wide and then bring the hands around and down to meet the mat with a nice forward fold. Halfway lift by just extending the arms, taking the gaze up a little, and then coming back down. And again, you can meet me by grabbing the hamstrings. I'm sorry, not the hamstrings, the calves. feel free to move the hips around if you need to. Remember, do not lock your knees. You don't want to become lightheaded in this inversion, which is simply taking your heart above your head. Improving focus and clarity. Hands back to the mat. Halfway lift, and then take those hands out to the left side and come back to your lunge. Pivot that foot, that back foot to match that lunge. Bring the left leg back to meet the right. And inhale and exhale down to chaturanga. Flip the feet. Lift the knees off the mat, core to the spine. And this time, let's just go back into a child's pose and take a few nice deep breaths. You just did a lot of work. Child's pose is also really good for opening your hips. Let's slowly lift back up and meet me on your bottom. Meet me in a comfortable seat. And now, let's get prepared to do a little intense core work, okay? Get comfortable, reposition your hips so that they are flat and aligned with your mat. Make sure to recenter your breathing if you've lost it. Make any adjustments that you need to make so that your body feels comfortable as we get ready to move into the next intense stage of our asana practice. Let's begin by slightly leaning back and bringing those toes forward. We're going to get ready to just slightly lift and allow the toes to touch the mat first. Not a death grip on the legs here. Maybe take the hands underneath the shins and lifting the legs, using your legs to lift, and your fingers and your hands are support. Maybe gently release that support and allow those hands to come forward, using your core to hold you up, bringing everything back down to the mat. Spine remains straight. You are breathing. You are not holding your breath. And inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, toes to the mat. And inhale, bring those legs to lift. And we're just going to go up and down and up and down with the flow of your breathing. Inhale, bring the toes up using your core. Exhale, bring the toes down. And inhale, bring the toes up. And exhale, come back to a comfortable seat. Continue to breathe. Don't forget your breathing. Let's do a little bit more core work. And inhale, and we're going to lean back slightly again, toes to the mat. Reposition if you need to. And exhale. And inhale, arms out. And toes up, and just slowly ease out by extending the legs, and you are now in low boat. Take those arms up, keeping the legs off of the mat. Core is back into your spine. You are still breathing. Your shoulders are away from your ears, and we're going to extend those arms out back to a low boat. Take that tension out of your neck. Breathe, arms back up, and release everything down to the mat. That was a lot of work. Continue to breathe. Maybe look right and then maybe look left. We're about to hit it again. And inhale, arms up, legs up, and exhale. Maybe lift the shoulders off of the mat. And we're holding. Navel to spine, shoulders away from the ears, and exhale, bring those arms around. Those legs are still up, that core is still to the spine. Maybe your gaze goes up and you are taking the arms back over your head. We are still holding the core, and release everything down to the mat. Continue to breathe. Bring the right leg up and then the left. Reposition if you need to. Let's open the hips again. Take your right ankle and place it over your left knee. Continue to breathe. Do not forget your breathing. Your navel is still to your spine because we're going to work the core the entire time here, okay? You're going to get ready to lift and really open those hips. How you're going to do that from here is to begin to lift the left leg. Take the right hand between the legs and join the fingers behind the left thigh. And just pull, using your arms now, pulling the legs towards your body. Maybe back and forth, tightness and release. And continue to breathe. And if you want something a little deeper, we're about to do that, okay? And you're going to extend that left leg. And you're going to lift those shoulders off the mat. And then you're going to pull your body to meet your forehead. Bring those feet and those legs in and then release. And we're going to come back, both feet flat to the mat, and we're going to do the next side, okay? So take the left ankle over the right knee, reposition if you need to, lift the right leg, join the hands behind that right thigh. Deep breath in, flex those feet and pull the legs into the body. Breathe, take those shoulders away from your ears, and we're just going to go back and forth with this, allowing now that left hip to open. Back and forth. Let your movement match your breathing. Let's get ready to go a little deeper if you want and extend that right leg up. Take the shoulders off of the mat and bring the legs into the forehead. Exhale and release, and bring your feet back to the mat. Supine position. Knees are to the ceiling. Let's extend those legs, and we're going to get ready to stretch and bring the right knee into the chest. Keep the left leg extended, and then straighten that right leg out to the side of your body, maybe moving that ankle around, getting that ankle a little bit of a stretch. And then bringing that right leg back towards your body, almost to feeling slight discomfort. If it hurts, you shouldn't be doing it. Just discomfort. Maybe release a little. Take that left hand to the left hip and then bring the right leg out to the side. And we are stretching and opening that hip, stretching that hamstring, bringing it all back in, and then both feet to the mat, and we're going to do the second side. So extend the right leg out. Bring the left knee into the body. Take those hands maybe behind that left ankle and moving that ankle around, extending that left leg. Take the hands behind the left leg again, and we're just going to stretch that left leg out. Remember, you're bringing it slightly to the side of your body. Getting a nice deep stretch, keeping the right leg extended, maybe a micro bend on either leg if you need. Taking the right hand to the right hip and then opening the left leg out to the side. Nice deep stretch. Nice open hips. And breathe. And then using the hand to bring it back up and bringing both feet again to the mat. Supine position, bringing both legs, both knees into your chest. And now bring your hands inside of your feet, grabbing your heels, and we're going to get ready to do a nice deep open stretch. Just extend those legs out as far as they will go, and then maybe a little further. Maybe bringing those toes to touch the floor or the mat on either side of you, keeping the core in, and then we're going to bring those legs back in. Maybe taking the head to the left and right, bring those shoulders back down, taking the hands on the outside of the feet and just opening those legs. And now we are in Happy Baby, and we're going to rock from side to side. Allow your head to go with your body, getting a nice massage to your spine. Opening the hips again. Your core is still to your body. We are still working every part of your body, but we are coming to the end of our practice. Come to stillness. Bring your feet back to meet. Maybe feeling those toes, appreciating your body and everything that your body does for you. Releasing the feet back to the mat. And here I will invite you to rest in whatever position you would like. If you would like Savasana, you can extend those legs and extend those arms, palms facing upward, looking up to the ceiling. Or you can join me in a recovery position. I like to turn to my side and extend my right arm out, my right side, bringing my legs up, using the other hand here to just use as a support. And we're going to release the breathing. I want you to take this moment in time to just be with yourself. Thank you for joining me.